In today's video, we got 6ix9ine just exposed Fat Joe badly. Let's do it.
6ix9ine did an interview with the Denzer Project, and during this interview, they asked him about Fat Joe comments about him, and he proceeded to expose Fat Joe. And we're gonna cover it in this video and even do like a deep dive into the accusations, because I fact checked what 6ix9ine said, and it's 100% true.
Fat Joe said that.
Fat Joe's a lean bang.
Hey, bro, listen. How do y'all feel about 6ix9ine, bro? With that whole situation of the snitching, like, if somebody was your mans and he hit your girl, are you gonna tell on him? Or are you gonna keep it loyal? This for the everybody. Type this right now in the comments below and let me know, bro. Because I kind of feel for 6ix9ine in this situation. You hit my bitch and you expect for me to be loyal to you? You wasn't loyal to me?
We've been leaning back for 20 years, man. Like,
He said you crowned yourself the rat leader and you wrote the 48 laws of snitching.
Let's pause here real quick and go back to what Fat Joe has been saying about 6ix9ine over the years. Because Fat Joe has been relentless on 6ix9ine over the years. We got statements from like 2-3 years ago on Math Hoffa of him calling 6ix9ine out of his name. And we got statements from as recently as like last month of Fat Joe going off on 6ix9ine. So 6ix9ine is like what, a top 3, top 4, like biggest rat in hip hop history. Cool. Like if you consider Alpo, is Alpo a hip hop figure? He's part of the culture, I would say.
But if y'all don't like 6ix9ine so much, why do y'all still give him so much attention? Y'all are literally putting bread in his pocket. Literally.
But 6ix9ine is probably the most famous rat in hip hop history. Okay. So whenever we think about ratting, especially in this new age when it comes to snitching in hip hop, we think about 6ix9ine. Now, when Fat Joe was on Math Hoffa, Fat Joe called 6ix9ine a P, called 6ix9ine a B, and his frustration though actually came because he warned 6ix9ine about the RICO and what was going to happen, but 6ix9ine never took his advice and then went all bad once he got into the situation.
This show gonna get me in trouble. I for sure.
How did you
I
feel
gotta go.
after warning Tekashi? Because I saw it when you sat with him. And I was like, Joe is trying to put him on right now, and I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
just
he's
be
getting
honest
it.
with you. Damn, you went there?
Yeah, I went there.
This is a sucker.
Oh.
He's a sucker. A
So let me get, yo,
Okay.
pop another bottle of man.
Nah, I ain't drink. I'm dead
It's
serious.
crazy.
I'm gonna keep it a buck though. Listen, bro. The nigga had rainbow hair, okay? This ain't no shade to nobody, but what do you expect from a dude that has rainbow hair? This is just facts. You expect for him to be real? In your dictionary of a real nigga? That don't make no sense, bro.
Talk that talk, man. Yeah.
No, I'm dead sober. This dude here, this type of shit, this nigga doing, I'm convinced he wanna die. I don't wish it on him or nothing like that, but I'm convinced he's miserable in his body. He can't look in the mirror. Nah, I don't know if he gotta be. He's a lot of
He just got knocked.
So now the man snitch, right? Cool, do you or whatever.
How did you know that?
I don't like the taunting. I try to tell him, like, what happens? Like, yo, bro, listen, I didn't know if he really did it. I didn't know what was going on. The crazy shit is when I talked to him in that interview, I talked to him off the air, and he lied to me and told me, yo, this is just an image, I'm fronting this and this and that. He told me that in front of Shotty and them. They were standing right there with him.
He said,
Nah,
what?
Joe. He
This is
told me
just
that
an
he was
image.
lying.
He said image.
Yo, Joe, I'm not.
So if it's just an image, why are y'all trying to hold him to this standard? If y'all knew this before, like y'all calling him a snitch if he's telling y'all, bro, I paid Shotty and them to be my muscle, but I'm not like that. That's what he told you. And y'all still trying to hold him accountable. You can't do that, bro. If he's not from the streets, come on now. Y'all can't get mad at him for telling. Be real.
Really doing this. I'm not a gangster. You know, this is all for like promotion. I got it. At that point, I said, so you're not doing nothing because you're going to go to jail if you're really doing stuff.
Right.
Nah, Joe, I don't do nothing. I'm good. So I'm like, all right.
I'm not 40. I'm not even 30 yet, okay? But I would imagine once you get to age 40, you start to value tranquility and peace.
Yeah.
And if peace is your focus, now I understand he was asked this question, so I guess you know kind of got to answer. But bro, I'm not talking about nobody snitching in no interviews, bro. All right, like I'm not calling somebody out their name. I'm not dissing him because he ain't snitch on me, And he ain't snitched on nobody I know. He snitched on some dudes who I told him in front of them what was gonna happen, and they still kept him around.
And that's why I say people need to mind their business. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, why are you putting your 2 insights in? Seriously, somebody in the comments let me know right now. Why do people put their insights in everything? If somebody told and he ain't tell on you, on your family, your mans that ain't hurt you in no way, why are you feeding into it? Especially if you old, like in your 40s, bro.
Right? But Fat Joe apparently is like the, I don't know, the prime minister of hip hop now. He is so anti-rat, that's his stance. That's a stance that he's taken. So that's what Fat Joe is currently on. Now, that was years ago though. As of lately, now after that, like I think Tekashi kind of dissed him in a couple other interviews after that. But as of lately, like a month ago, Fat Joe brought up the topic of snitching. Now he would tell Jadakiss this was a topic that he set up at night thinking about because he needed a good topic to discuss. And he thought a good topic to discuss was who started the snitching epidemic in hip hop. And he would say it was 6ix9ine.
Yo, what's the event in hip hop that broke the camel's back? Pause. To make it to where you could snitch. And if you make good music or something, you could still live out here in hip hop. Like what was the straw that broke the camel's back in hip hop where we had a code and there is no code no more. There just isn't no code no more. And what do you think is the event that, I remember growing up, even if you was fronting, you wasn't a real gangster, but you was spitting gangster rap. You wasn't with the rats like that. Right now, this
too many of them
sold out concerts.
I don't think you can escape them. They all around. They're like New York City rats. Humans. It's rats everywhere. And everywhere is everything,
But also, Fat Joe got to understand, you can't just pinpoint it on one person. Niggas been writing since the beginning of time, since dawn of time. Like, seriously. And I don't know. I just feel like everybody's trying to pinpoint it on one person. When you got so many people writing that you probably don't even know about the toughest, that you might think is the toughest of the toughest, and they cooperating with the feds.
Too many Fredos, not enough Michaels.
That's a fact.
Some of these guys got to take a boat ride, never come back. Sammy the Bull is the most famous rat on the earth. Sammy the Bull. Then you came Alpo. Guy everybody looked up to, charismatic, Harlem Fly, Louis Vuitton, this, that, Toll. He did that, right?
Shout out to Wayne Perry and Wayne Perry Jr.
Then, in hip-hop, the day 6ix9ine sat on that stand.
Yo.
No!
Man.
You remember, if you're watching the story, they taking him to court in bulletproof vests. They acting like he was telling on El Chapo. He put a lot of good people in jail, man.
Facts.
No,
we got to put him away till it's time.
Yo, Rich.
But again, bro, Fat Joe, he told you, fam. He told you. When he first met you and you talked to him about the Rico, he said he doesn't do none of that. He's just an actor. Literally, he put a costume on. So how can you blame a man who's never been in no situation, who don't live by that street code, to go and tell? And especially, okay, it would have been different if maybe Shotty would have never hit his baby mama, right? But he did. So for a man to not be in the streets and then you hit his BM, you expect for him to show you loyalty, gang? That's not how this world works, bro.
My feeling is going to get close.
You feel it?
I feel his time has come. I feel his time is going to be soon, though.
We don't need a lot.
Yeah.
Does it not matter no more? And I believe 6ix9ine, when he gave guys 20 years in jail. All the guys he was like, but he fucked my wife. But he did. That means nothing. There's a man that works in a bodega that never been a criminal in his life, see some shit, and he won't tell.
How does that not mean anything? That is the mother of your child. And y'all do business together. You put money in his pocket and he went to go do that? What do you mean, bro? How does that not mean anything? Tell me in the comments right now what you would have done. Because that's crazy, bro. just dismiss that like that. Like y'all logic think it's fucked up.
Before we hear from 6ix9ine, my question to that would be, what does that have to do with the music? Now, 6ix9ine stopped making good music, right? 6ix9ine music is trash. I do think 6ix9ine music was for an era. He made really good music at a point. Right now, bro, 6ix9ine hasn't made a hit, I don't know in how long, bro. Even the snippets he dropped, the songs he dropped, they not hitting, bro. Nobody is tapping in for 6ix9ine musically. But what does that have to do with the music, right? When 90% of hip-hop's consumers aren't from the streets. 90% probably ain't never been from the streets. I think y'all overestimate how many people truly grew up in the streets, even among, let's say, the black fans, right? The black consumers. I think y'all overestimate how many black people live or grew up in the hood.
That's facts.
Right? More black folks grew up outside the hood than in the hood. That's just a fact. So nah, bruh. If we ain't street dudes, the code of the streets don't apply to us, bruh, then why would it apply in hip-hop and the music? Yo, go to any rap concert you want to go to this year. Go to the biggest rap concerts this year. 70% is non-black.
And most of your supporters are Caucasians, gang. Most of them are. If you really want to think about it, most of these people who's buying these rappers' albums, bro, it's Caucasians, bro. And if you think these people are going around shooting people, selling whatever in the hood, they're not. So when you try to uphold this image, you're really hurting yourself because you're probably trying to prove to your peers that you're like that. Bro, there's no sense of doing that, bro. Just make your money and stay out the way, gang.
Probably 80 to 90% is non-black, if we being 100% honest here, bro, depending on who the artist is. Go to a Drake concert, 90% of the people there are not black.
You don't see that many black people.
Nor are they from the hood. So I feel like that shouldn't matter at all, right? But that's his complaints against 6ix9ine. He blames 6ix9ine for kind of taking away all the rules. Well, 6ix9ine responded in probably the best way to respond back when you indeed did rat. Like, most of these dudes would just deny it, but 6ix9ine told, like, in clear as day, on the stand, pointing their finger in 4K. So he responded in the best way possible, which was pointing out the hypocrisy. Fat Joe is talking that real Igga stuff. He's talking that man code and honor, morals and ethics, integrity and principles. Well, 6ix9ine kind of ripped that apart and kind of revealed how he can't talk about integrity, morals, and principles.
If I crown myself the rat leader, he crowned himself as the cap leader. He didn't rob no 50 niggas at no gym. That nigga, yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Which one's my camera? That one?
Yeah.
This one? That one? Yeah, Fat Joe, you're a like, you're a I'm not even gonna lie, you're a captain of the cap. Like, nobody believe, even your co-host who's Jadakiss don't believe you. Every time you say a cap, that like, oh, like, but like I said, you gonna go
flag, like and flag on the play.
And my next song, I even say, I be spitting so much facts that I make jokes to distract.
Okay, look. One thing I can say is this. For all my hood niggas out there, right? If y'all hate 6ix9ine so much, by as much as he's disrespected people blatantly on the internet, talk crazy, and hit niggas bitches, how is he still alive? Like, if this snitching logic that street code lead and street niggas lead by, how is he still moving around perfectly by himself, not scared? It just don't make no sense to me. Some things don't add up, bro. It don't.
That's the next bar in my song. Don't like the truth, so y'all make jokes to distract me. We know this lying, right? All right, yo, listen to me. Listen.
But there's
to
a lot
me.
of people that say he ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
Yeah.
All right, which one's my camera? If Fat Joe is not lying, the next person on the Dance Project, bring Big Pun's son. Bring Big Pun's son on the Dance Project. Welcome back,
Chris Rivers.
Welcome back, y'all. Let's skip this clip. Watch when he see this clip, he gonna hit up. Yo, Chris, don't do that. How much money you need? Out of here. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, you just said a lot. You just said a lot.
Bring Big Pun's son, even on the versus, remember when he was facing Ja Rule?
Yeah.
And they said, don't play that shit. That's Big Pun. Don't do that. Don't do what, fat bitch? You talking about? Yeah.
The reason why 6ix9ine is saying bring Big Pun's son, because Fat Joe is talking that integrity, morals, and principle stuff.
Okay.
And when it comes to the streets, right? Again, by your rules, isn't it thorough if you take care of your dead homie's family? If you do right by them with the business? You can't say, hey, the streets got a set of codes. I'm only going to follow this code. Your homie died. You're supposed to take care of the family to the utmost. You're supposed to make sure they straight.
Oh, so Big Pun, basically, Fat Joe don't take care of Big Pun. If that makes sense. I think that's what he's saying. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments.
Yo, I don't care if he signs you. You supposed to make sure, hey, bruh, right? The money go to the right places. Well, the reason why he brought up Big Pun's son is because that's not been the case, all right? They've been accusing Fat Joe of stealing money that they deserve from Big Pun's discography for years. Fat Joe even came out at some point and said that he gave him $1 million, and they said that's not true.
Right, so when she came to me and told me that, we did 2 projects and we got her, not us, we didn't take $1, we got her $1 million for her and the family. Now, she ran through it because she was used to spending that money. She comes back, I write her a check out my pocket, boom, and I'm like, yo, it ain't no more after this.
Big Pun and wife will say that's cap. She never received $1 million from Fat Joe, and they filed a lawsuit against Fat Joe.
Okay, but why would he lie about $1 million though? Like, why would somebody just go out their way and lie about something like that? Ain't that kind of weird? I would think so. That is kind of weird. And I never knew Big Pun was dead. I did not know that until now. Like, like I say, all my live reactions is in the moment, so I'm not faking nothing.
And as far as I know, I think she either won the lawsuit or the lawsuit is still currently going on. But they sued Fat Joe because Big Pun was receiving royalties and none of the money was going to the family. Fat Joe would tell him, hey, man, listen, man, ain't no money coming in, man, listen, it's going to prior obligations. But then they would do like their research and they'll find out, no, there's actually money coming in and the money is actually being collected by someone.
And so we find ourselves in situations like Liza Rios has with Joe Cartagena, Fat Joe, where, you know, you got to file a lawsuit to figure out what actually happened and to find out where is the money. So today, although Fat Joe's lawyers originally filed an answer in the case, they subsequently filed a motion to dismiss, as did Jelly's Jams, not claiming that they don't owe any money, but just making technical legal arguments that basically saying that Liza can't sue them for one reason or another. We feel pretty good about the hearing. There was a hearing that took place today, oral arguments for our side and for Jelly's Jams and Fat Joe to talk about why we believe that they should be kept in this case and why we believe that they basically had fiduciary duties, meaning a higher standard than a breach of contract standard, to pay Liza monies that were due her husband so that her family can benefit.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If this is true, that's fucked up, and Fat Joe is wrong for that, bro. And this is why I tell y'all, bro, don't sign to nobody. Be independent. Like, on this channel, we talk free game, bro. Be your own boss, bro. Like, if you gonna benefit, if somebody's gonna help you, don't sign to them. Don't do read the contract and get a lawyer, bro.
You asked if it was a rehashing. Well, in some ways, it's the same issue. The big question is, where's the money, right? So, and there's some new information has come to light just of late that is setting some light on what happened to the money. And so that's really why this lawsuit is being filed now. You know, over time, you know, you're supposed to get royalties twice a year or whatever, and most of the time the accounts are saying they're unrecouped. So when an artist is getting statements that say they're unrecouped, there's really no reason for them to think that there should be money there. Right. In this particular case, we found the reason to believe that there really should be some more money there. And that is that we found out that in foreign territories overseas, that the writer splits are not properly reflected for the songs the way they should have been. And that's indicating that there was some money that was collected there that shouldn't have been collected.
Okay, but Big Pun, he didn't have no lawyer. Like, when he first got on, did he not have no type of protection, like anything towards this contract? Like, how was Fat Joe able to recycle this money and keep it hidden all this long, bro? Like, this is crazy. This game is dirty. That's why I tell y'all, bro.
So that's where we're after. We're trying to pursue that. Actually, the important thing is that now artists are also getting paid for that money. ASCAP and BMI, the traditional, societies that collect money for songwriters, have been able to collect money for those streaming services and other, new technology types of services.
I don't know about y'all, man, but I just believe, man, right, from my perspective, that doing something like this, from my perspective, is objectively worse than telling on criminals. That's just me, though. Okay, that's just me. All right. But y'all, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. All right. And if you're watching this video,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think this is most definitely worse than telling on somebody. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think, and I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Let's do it.